How's it going, guys? Necromancer New. We got some Fromsoftware news. We got some Elden Ring Nightreign news. We're going to go all over it. Let's talk about it in the comments, so make sure to comment down below, like the video, subscribe. It all helps out, but let's get right into it. So first things first, July 30th, which is a little bit less than a week, we are going to get some more Elden Ring Nightreign content. We got the long-awaited duos. So no more having to worry about a third. If you're, you just got one friend that plays this game and you're just trying to get some duos going on, you can finally do that. You don't have to rely on some random that can possibly mess up your whole run or will just quit midway through, something like that. Either way, if you just want to have some duos, you finally have the option. So we finally got solo, duo, and trios. I've also seen a lot of comments that I think are pretty silly of people like, why did it take so long, this and that, and like, all right. Now, we can agree that I don't understand the point that they didn't have duos in the first place implemented when this game released, but waiting 2 months after launch of the game, I don't think that's that long. I think we've gotten very greedy as gamers. We want everything out immediately. We want that immediate satisfaction, but like 2 months to wait on duos, another game mode applied, like it's not that bad for me in my opinion. Along with that too, we've also gotten Enhanced Night Lords. We're getting another 4 Enhanced Night Lords the 31st. So right after duos, we're going to be getting those Enhanced Night Lords. I'm sure they're going to be doing the weekly basis like they did last time, and then they're going to start giving it to like mix and match as duos, stuff like that. But either way, it's more content. I'm about it. I'm excited. Let me know what you think down below. Is it too late? Did they wait long enough? Are you just happy that it's going to be implemented? I'm happy that it's implemented, but that aside, that's Nightreign content for you. Of course, there's going to be some little balance changes, some slight quality of life updates. I think there's going to be some like relic filtering, stuff like that you can finally do, a little more options for that. So that's good to see. Next on the list, we're going to be talking about actual Fromsoftware news. As far as we know, Duskbloods is coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2, so it is a Switch exclusive. It is a PvPvE. So it's a multiplayer only game, totally different than what we've experienced in any other Fromsoftware game. Of course, they've already tested the waters with Elden Ring Nightreign, but that's a little different. That's still PvE, but it's definitely a different gameplay style that we've had opposed to other Fromsoftware games. But that being said, I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to get a Nintendo Switch 2 just to play this game. I am interested to see how it does. I am interested in how the story and stuff like that works all in all. But that being said, it might be a Fromsoftware game that I miss out on just because I'm not spending like $500 for Switch 2. Then you got to get the online service. That's another online service that I have to pay for. And it's just a big old hoops and hassle, right? But I think I share the same sentiment as a lot of other of the fans where, we're not looking forward to it too much. But that being said, there is supposedly another project that they're going to be dropping along the same time next year, along with Duskbloods, but it's going to be something different, and we could be looking at a few different things. It is so far just called Project FMC, but with the F, I guess they've had a history of anything that involves the F and their projects could be possibly an Armored Core or a Dark Souls. So what would we get along those lines? My best guess would probably be expansion for Armored Core. I mean, we just got one not too long ago. I think it's in need of some new content to come out for that. I don't expect anything Dark Souls related, if I'm honest. Dark Souls 3 still looks great. It still plays great. We've had multiple iterations of Dark Souls Scholar of the First Sin, Dark Souls 2, you name it. Dark Souls has already gotten a remaster. Of course, maybe it might be cool to get a fresh up remake, but I don't expect that, right? If I were to expect anything along those lines, it'd be an expansion for Armored Core, Fire's Rubicon, but that's what I'm guessing. Now, let's try to look at other things, right? Maybe they switched it up, Could we be getting like a Sekiro 2 sequel? I don't know. It's unexpected. I don't expect that, Comes to Bloodborne 2, that is an IP for Sony, so that would basically be in Sony's hands, whether they make a sequel or not, and Sony doesn't seem interested whatsoever. But in terms of the news, yeah, I want to say, I'm guessing it's going to be an Armored Core expansion, which I'm pretty excited for. I would be down for that, all in all. But that being said, I definitely think it's going to be a solo experience. I think, they've already given us a multiplayer experience for Nightreign. They're already doing a PvPvE, a multiplayer-only game with Duskblood. So, Fromsoftware is smart, right? They're testing the waters. They're still doing really good. Whether you like Nightreign or not, it still has done really well sales-wise. It's gotten some pretty good reception all in all. I think it's mostly positive on Steam, stuff like that. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm still enjoying it. Of course, there's so many games out where it's like you just got to be playing different games from time to time. With that being said, they know what their fan base is, and the majority of their fan base are single-player gamers, right? Of course, there's like PvP when it comes to the Dark Souls games and all those, but their bread and butter, their main fan base is single-player games, and single-player gamers. But that being said, so I'm expecting more single-player stuff to come along the lines, especially if they're releasing a multiplayer-only game. I'd imagine a single-player experience would go very hand in hand, and, an Armored Core expansion makes sense. But either way, that kind of covers the news. We got some Nightreign stuff, we got duos, we got some more enhanced Night Lords. Sure, there's more content coming along in the future for that as well. We got some Fromsoftware news about their next project, which is most likely, if I'm going to guess, a Armored Core experience. But that being said, what do you think so far? What do you think about the trajectory of Fromsoftware? I think they're doing great, right? I don't mind them testing the waters and trying out different things. I think that's what makes a company great. You can't be producing the same thing over and over and over again. I'm looking at you, Call of Duty. I'm looking at you, like, other video games that just do the same bread and butter. They never change. They never try to innovate. They never try to do anything to just broaden their horizon. So either way, I support whatever they're doing. I don't expect myself to go out of the way to get a Nintendo Switch 2 just to play this game. And, I'm a little worried about how the sales are going to be for that as well, because you look at the main player base of Nintendo, especially Nintendo Switch 2, it's Mario Kart, it's the new Donkey Kong. It is a lot of very friendly, user-friendly, rated E for everyone games. They don't go anywhere over like T for teen. So I'm surprised. I'm curious to see how it goes for Duskbloods. But that being said, I'm still sure it's going to be a great game all in all. Like, they have such a good track record of just producing good games. Even when it came to Nightreign, a lot of people were very hesitant about it. And I think once they gave it a shot, they realized it can be a really fun time. But either ways, what do you think about this news? Leave a comment down below. Let's talk about it. I love talking to you guys. Like the video, subscribe. It all helps out. I will see you guys in future news, future videos. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.